Bam! Good morning, y'all. Nobody's watching. Spoo's here. We just getting started. Moonshine's fixing to kick off here in a minute. And because I don't want to get kicked off the YouTube, I won't turn the background sound on from the radio, the audio for the radio, because I keep getting flagged for copyright violations. So we won't put that on until Moonshine kicks in. ZZ Top Francine's playing on the radio. You're watching the live video stream of the Thunder Walrus radio show here on YouTube. Check us out. Spread the word. Share it with your friends, your family, because we can only invite like 10. And I've got way more than that in my groups. So they won't. I just have to make it public. And then, yes, I'm swatting flies. Sorry, this is going to turn into the killing field here on the video in just a minute. And when Moonshine kicks in, I got to set it to manual DJ, and then we will get started. We got a great show for you today, great entertainment. It's hump day. We're going to get you over the hump and headed towards the weekend. And I believe the weekend is actually supposed to be decent weather. I'll have to check on that. Let's do that while we get ready to get kicked off here momentarily. Weather.com is what we're looking for. And it's loading. I want weather for me. Oh, come on, dang it. All right, Moonshine's on. Manual DJ.
Just a gypsy with a full tank of gas. Not sure where my next meal's from. Put down the bells and singing to the clouds. Moonshine, light my way. Won't you take me down tomorrow is one more day.
Oh yeah, it looks good right on through the weekend. Scattered thunderstorms on Sunday, but in the 80s. Friday looks absolutely beautiful. So yeah, good weather all the way around. It looks like. Let's refresh this page. Slow down, slow. Because I roll my own.
Reading all the billboards, telling me to go home. Light my way. Would you take me down south today? Tomorrow is one more day. So moonshine, light my way. Had a little trouble way back when.
You doing this, Billy?
Life ain't easy. Back on the road again. Got myself lost way out of town. Save a trail to the dashboard. Then I would not back down. Moonshine, light my way. Won't you take me down south today? Tomorrow,
I need a question.
one more day. test on the textbook, and you're like winning on the job. Moonshine, like my way. What take me down south today? Tomorrow is one more day. So moonshine, like my way. Big moonshine, like my way.
Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show here on the Walrus Radio Network and watching the live video stream from Midevil Custom Cycles here in Street, Maryland. Good morning, Walrus. I'm typing the Walrus Nation. The Walrus Wonders question of the day. Got it posted. You can check that out on my Tim Yarsh Facebook page. We posted it there. Go post up your answers. The Walrus Wonders question of the day today is, what does it take for you to say, quote, the hell with it, let's drink and call it a day? I want to know, what is it that just pushes you to the point where I've had enough? Do you know where that line is? And it's not so much that I want your answers. I just want that realization and self-actualization for you to understand that there is a line you can cross where you can only take so much. And everybody's different. Everybody's pain tolerance is different. Everybody's tolerance for stress. And see, my stress level is very low when it comes to dealing with stupid people. When you are trying to deal with me on a certain level and you're not capable of talking to me on that level or understanding what it takes to communicate on that level, I lose my patience fairly quick with you because I know it's not my job to teach you. Somebody else should have pulled you off in a corner somewhere and said, look, sunshine, here's a few facts of life that you should get to know and understand before you go out in the world and start talking to people. And you need to know that there's a song, and it's in my wife's car, and I forget the name of the band, but it's a very Irish-like sounding band, and one of the lyrics to their song is, it's a long road to wisdom, but it's a short one to being ignored. And I believe that because you better have done some stuff in your life before you start come talking to me, and like you have. Now, if you haven't done stuff in your life and you come to me talking like you haven't done stuff in your life, I can appreciate that. You know who you are and where you're at in life. But don't be 17, 18 years old coming up to me going, yeah, man, back in the day, bitch, you ain't even had your day. Tell me coming up in my face, back in the day, look, I ain't even had my day yet, bitch, and I'm 46 years old. I remember how things were done in 1980 when I was a kid. I remember how things were done in 1990 when I was a young adult. But that wasn't my day. I ain't had my heyday yet, mother. I'm just, wait a minute. I got a 17-year-old telling me back in the day. That's the kind of kid I want to punch in the throat. I got a 14-year-old. Yeah, well, that's the kind of kid I want to punch in the throat. No offense, but I want to go beat their parents' asses too for letting them do it. And I did the same thing. My girls are the same way. But Jordan may have earned the right. Though Jordan's only 25, at the age of 18, she was hit head-on by a drunk driver and spent 6 months recovering. She was 18 and in diapers. Her mom had to change her. So this kid has went through hell and back, and she is now much different than she was prior to the accident. She has some permanent cranial damage to the third cranial nerve. So her right eye is affected. She now looks like she has a lazy eye. And she referred back in the day when I was beautiful, and I keep punching her in the arm. You're still beautiful. You just look like you're stoned, get over it. You just look like a stoned pretty girl instead of just a pretty girl now, or half stoned, because that right eye is just a little bit different. But she does, and at 25, you may be able to say back in the day prior to the accident or a huge major life event like that. But unless you have experienced that, and you're around me in the words back in the day, yeah, and you're referring to your own life. Now, if you're referring back in the day when my grandfather was a kid, he told stories of Yeah, that's how that sentence better go. Because if you say back in the day when I was, I'm gonna flail you, hit you so hard right square in the chest that you can't draw another breath to speak another lie. That's how that's gonna work. Walrus Nation, I hope you survived the rain. Good Lord, have mercy. The water came down. The wife showed me pictures of BWI parking areas last night where three quarters, two-thirds to three-quarters of the car were underwater. I mean, these cars ain't going to work no more. They're toast. You went on a Bahamas vacation and came back to a holy crap, the river's rising kind of situation. And to those folks, I feel sorry for them, but we hope everybody is okay. Material things can be replaced. Lives are irreplaceable. And so for those who are still dealing with the rising waters as the floodwaters do recede this morning, we keep each and every one of those in our thoughts and prayers. And this ain't going to mean a whole lot to anybody listening to this radio show, but good positive energy is good positive energy. And so I'm asking you, Walrus Nation and Script Club Choppers Nation, a dear, dear woman passed away last night, Miss Betty Vincenti, my uncle's aunt, my aunt's mother-in-law, who was into her late 80s, early 90s, and had lived with my aunt and uncle for many, many years. He was a good son. He took care of his mother. His mother took care of him all by herself. She raised him on a little bitty paycheck from Beta Shoe Company down here in Belcamp. But Miss Betty Vincenti went to be with the angels last night, and we bid her rest in peace, and we send our prayers and condolences to the Vincenti family, Pat, Jeannie, and the girls, Lori and Tricia, and their families. And I believe Miss Betty actually has a surviving sister or two. So just the survivors of Miss Betty Vincenti, condolences to you and your family, not from the Thunder Walrus, but from little Timmy. We'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers as you deal with the arrangements for Miss Betty's services. And there may be an opportunity where we aren't on the air one day here towards the end of the week to attend Miss Betty's funeral. That was my entire purpose for mentioning that it'd be a family event, and I feel like I should attend it and would do so. If it interferes with the show, understand. No, we got a little grinding going on in the background. We are broadcasting live from the Midevil Custom Cycles studios here in Street, Maryland. I don't know if you can hear the grinding or not. It doesn't really register on the microphone, so I think we're doing pretty good. I got some great train robbery coming up for you. We've got great stories. The Walrus Wonders question of the day is up. What does it take for you to say, quote, the hell with it? Let's have a drink and call it a day, end quote. So go post your answers up. I've seen answers popping up already. We'll share those with you later on. We're also going to get your Mega Millions numbers. I didn't pull those up, but I will check them and have those for you when we come back from a short music break. Won't be a whole lot of music breaks today. We got a lot of entertainment for you, a lot to discuss, and I've got to be done around 11:30 today, as a neighbor's child is trying out for cheerleading, and so Miss Amber's trying out. We got to go pick her up. Mom and Dad ain't available to get her. Something has happened, and Dad got called into work last minute. I said, sure, Uncle Tim always gets them. Yeah, they hate me because the kids do, because I'm a white guy. And I tell them I'm Uncle Tim from the light-skinned side of the family, you know. And their boyfriends hate me because I jump right up into business. I ain't like their parents. I see a little boy out there sniffing around talking to them girls. The oldest one, Ashley, was the worst, because I seen a little boy from down the street peck her on the cheek about 6 years ago, give her a little kiss on the cheek. I was mowing the grass. I stopped. I turned the lawnmower off, walked. I said, what the hell you think you were doing? Did you just lean over and kiss that little girl on the cheek? Yes, sir. Get your ass down there to your house. I said, I need to get up there to your parents. I said, don't make me come up there and tell them what I just saw. You better go tell them right now. What? I said, don't make me come up there and tell them. That little boy ran down the street. Next thing you know, Niecy and I was telling everybody I was Uncle Tim from the light-skinned side of the family. It's funny. I thought it was actually freaking hilarious. And Alan Nisi are great people, and so they need a little assistance. That's why I said the truest statement Hillary Clinton ever said was it takes a child to raise a village. And, you know, they weren't going to take her to tryouts if somebody couldn't pick her up. And I'm like, man, I'll go get her. Just go on, drop her off, and tell Al to go on to work. I'll be there by a little after 12 to get her. Don't worry about it. Really, Pattersonville High School ain't that far away anyway. She could walk home. No, I'm just kidding. That would be wrong. Great train robbery with Rolling Thunder. Now that the rain is over, we're getting over the hump of Wednesday. Going to be sliding into a weekend. What?
That was me. I was listening to Adam.
Oh, the wiggle. I didn't even pay no attention to it. Let's see what we look like now. We might be looking at a wall somewhere else. No, we're all good. Hell, I've moved over. Let me get back where I belong. I'm all scooted around. I was trying to make room for your big ass, like you was gonna come over here and sit down.
They can't see me.
Not
Right, the goddamn camera.
Yeah, it's a cheap camera. I don't want. Yeah, not tested strength and durability today. But you do hear Spoo in the background. That is our buddy Spoo, who you hear us refer to, chat with, and talk to quite regularly as part of the Thunder Walrus show. He's the guy that put that big, heavy metal steel door in for us over the weekend. Well, him and Rick did it together, but I really believe Spoo was brains in that outfit. I mean, Rick's a good motorcycle mechanic, but I'm not so sure I'd want him to build me a birdhouse. You know what I'm saying? Here's Great Train Robbery. Enjoy the music. We'll be back with some of the best damn entertainment on the planet, bar none, right here on the Thunder Walrus show and streaming live from the Midevil Custom Cycles studios here in Street, Maryland. Good morning, Walrus Nation. Yeah, AC would be nice. But, you know, it is what it is.
Is that too loud too?
No, now it's not. The mics ain't even on, but when the mics are on, it does not even register. The mics ain't even, yeah, because these are unidirectional mics. It only picks up what's talking right into it.
Oh, so it's not picking up.
It's not picking up everything around us, no. Now, the YouTube microphone is, let me see what it looks like. The music's overriding it. All it's picking up is the music in my voice. That light's keeping beat with that music, so, and then my voice overrides it all, of course.
Now, where's the chat on that?
There's no chat. They can ask me questions, like if it says we got one viewer right now, if that's probably Pam Pie. If she was to ask me a question, it would pop up right here.
Oh, so it's not like Spreaker now.
No, not like Spreaker where we go back and forth. I see the question and then I can highlight it, answer it via the chat, and then be done with it. I can't respond text-wise.
Oh, so every time it would have to be a question each time.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah. Yeah, now that guy from Colorado and I were chatting the other day, and that was cool.
Well, what was that guy that you were talking, that you said that you were talking to yesterday or something, that you had to talk to him afterwards because you didn't want to lose him?
Oh, Matt Seinberg from New York. He's an audio engineer guy that has done some air check work for me for radio stations. And he was asking me if I was a big radio star yet. No, man, I'm still looking.
Can you help me?
Yeah, maybe it's time to update my air check. You know, I'm getting a lot better. I am a lot better than I was a year and a half ago when you made that. Shit, I still didn't get the damn Mega Millions numbers. Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show and watching the live video stream via YouTube here from the Midevil Custom Cycles studios in Street, Maryland. We appreciate you tuning in, hanging out. It's good to have our buddy Spoo from Hartford Cleanouts. You've got that estate that you need cleaned out. You just got an old building full of crap that you don't know what to do with. Call my buddy Spoo. Hartford Cleanouts, you can find them on Facebook, hartfordcleanouts@gmail.com. Shoot him an email, look him up on Facebook. Shoot me your number, Spoo. What's your number? He ain't even standing over there. I thought he was behind the corner on me. Check out Hartford Cleanouts for all your disposable goods and junk you need hauled away. My buddy Spoo will take care of you. I've got your Mega Millions numbers from Tuesday, August the 12th, 2014. Got your tickets out, and if not, get a pen and paper ready. Here comes your numbers: 32, 53, 60, 63, 68, and your Mega Ball was 6. 32, 53, 60, 63, 68, and 6 was your Mega Ball. Doesn't look like anybody hit it. The next estimated jackpot is $144 million with approximately $84.7 million as the cash option. You gotta play to win, so good luck to y'all. Next drawing for Mega Millions will be Friday night, August the 15th. Powerball is tomorrow night. Be sure you get your tickets. Like I said, you gotta play to win. First Amendment applies to everybody, and fair is fair, by God. And I like the chutzpah and the cojones on these folks. Well, more like melons. The First Amendment right does apply to everybody. In Warsaw, Ohio, exotic dancers from an Ohio strip club protested topless outside a church on Sunday and engaged in a few heated verbal exchanges with church members. Dancers from Foxhole North, a club in Newcastle in central Ohio, staged the protest outside of New Beginnings Ministries in nearby Warsaw. A church, the club owner says, has protested his business for years. That is according to the Coshocton Tribune. At one point, 6 bare-breasted women marched from a street corner to the edge of the church parking lot. 2 women remained topless for most of the demonstration, which involved about 30 people who sat across the street from the church or walked around holding signs, the newspaper did report. Tarps shielded the rear of the church, where most congregation members entered and exited the church. Several women came out of the church after services and exchanged words with club sympathizers. In a telephone interview Sunday, club owner Thomas George told the Associated Press that 4 years ago, club dancers in bikinis protested and held signs outside the church, but that didn't stop the church from picketing his business. I don't have a problem with people exercising their First Amendment rights, but at what point does it become harassment, said George, who apologized to the public and other churches for Sunday's protest, but they backed us into a corner and we had no recourse. He said judges have repeatedly denied his request for injunctions to keep church protesters away from his property. So he thought, well, fair is fair. The church's pastor, the Reverend Bill Dunphy, told the Tribune recently that church members will persist in opposing the club. We know that what we're doing is working, according to Dunphy. Dunphy couldn't be reached for comment Sunday. No phone listing for him could be found, and a recording at the church said voicemail could not receive any messages. But I like the guy's response, you know. You're going to protest my club, I'm going to send topless women to protest your church. That's fair. And the sad part about it was, you know, those poor old parishioners, the men anyway, wanted to see them boobies, and they put tarps up so that they couldn't see it. That's unfair. They're infringing upon their civil rights to see boobies. They won't let them go to the strip club. So the strip club came to them, and yet you still cut them off. That doesn't seem fair. At what point does it become harassment, though? This church is the only one that seems to have such issue with the club. None of the other churches did. He actually apologized to the community and to other churches, but the judges won't say, hey, look, you can protest once a month. You know, let's be decent and civil here. If you really want them out that bad, they ain't leaving. Why don't you leave them, maybe? I don't know. There has to be, somebody's got to give somewhere. Something has to give somewhere. This man's business, if he's abiding by the laws, maybe it's unmoral for you, but does that give you the right to try to run him out of business and run him out of town? I don't know if that does or not. You've made your protest. You've made your voices heard. But at what point do you stop beating a dead horse? At what point does what goes on within the walls of that man's brick and mortar business become none of your business? Which leads me to my next story. A young lady has, and I'm assuming that an orbit is some type of obituary or medley sonnet or eulogy of some kind. I forgive me for my ignorance. But her mother wanted to be remembered in a interesting way. And it ties into this first story. You know, these people are protesting this strip club. All right, you don't want a strip club in your community. Well, guess what? It's there. So leave it alone. You know, he's keeping it inside the four walls. You don't want his topless chick standing out in front of your church. Stop going standing out in front of his club, and y'all can learn to coexist. But this young lady honored her mother's request. Most people would want to be remembered as a loving mother, a devoted wife, or at least a selfless friend after they have passed. But Joanna Scarpitti, and that is her last name, Scarpitti, will be remembered as a wicked witch. The Delaware mother's orbit begins, ding dong, the witch is dead. And that's exactly what she would have wanted her daughters say. Scarpetti's youngest daughter, who helped write the obituary, told the News Journal that her mother made her promise to include a tribute to the Wizard of Oz in her final tribute. That was something between us, and there was nothing that was going to stop me, even if I ended up getting bad reports and maybe people going against me. It had nothing to do with them. This was something she wanted. I did it. And that was according to Asante Lucy. Scarpitti so loved the classic film that she was even buried in ruby red slippers. The bizarre obituary isn't the only one to make the news recently. Earlier this year, a Delaware man died, leaving behind a humorous self-written obituary saying he had gone to join the choir invisible. Another orbit from last year surprised readers by naming a backstabbing mother among loved ones left behind. We're not sure what Scarpitti would have thought about all of the buzz surrounding her obituary, but one thing's for certain. Her husband says he doesn't want his daughters writing his, but he doesn't have the Wizard of Oz for that movie. Maybe his will be Scarface. Come say hello to my left friend. You never know. But with that being said, does the girl deserve to be criticized and people raising an eyebrow at her, per se? It was a deal between her and her mother, and in reality, her mother's dead. Do you think she really cares? And if this woman was embracing her own death enough to plan the fact that she was buried, that her daughters will remember fondly for the rest of their lives. It will be a story that they can share about their mother with their children, about their grandmother. that will be funny and put a smile on their faces and saying, hey, you know what? Grandma was a little outside the box and there's nothing wrong with that. Live life on the edge, because if you don't, you're taking up too much space. And people, find humor in it. You have to embrace death because it happens. Here's the reality of it, boys and girls. I am a positive person. I'm positive that one day I'm going to die. We all are. Nobody gets out alive. You have to enjoy this ride the best you can and make each and every day the fullest and happiest you can. That is your job. The rest of the stuff is just figuring out how to make ends meet and be as happy as you possibly can. Is figuring out how to enjoy this life. What fills your happy cup? And then your job is to keep as much of that in your happy cup as you possibly can. And if your happy cup is a stew or a a goulash of many different ingredients, well, that's okay. Sometimes you may end up with a little more tomato paste than noodles. Sometimes you may end up with a little more noodles than you do hamburger meat in your goulash. You know what goulash is. Whatever if it's succotash, you're a vegetarian. All right, let's go succotash. I can make this work with anybody. Sometimes you end up with a little more green beans than corn or a little more carrots than green beans, but it's still goulash and it's still good and it still keeps your happy cup full. Well, do what you can do each and every day to fill that happy cup, because that's really all that life is truly about. When you're laying on your deathbed, let's be real here for a minute on a Wednesday. I'm going to help you get over the hump because the weekend's coming. And I want you to have the greatest weekend possible. And you may not be able to follow the advice of Tim McGraw, the country singer that says, live life like you're dying each and every moment of it. But you got to remember, you're going to die one day. And why not start living life like you're dying now? Enjoy it. On your deathbed, you've never heard anybody say, and you've heard these wives' tales all the time, over and over again. You've never heard anybody say, man, I wished I would have worked a little more. I wished I would have spent a little more time behind my desk. I wished I would have spent a few more weekends at work. No, I've never heard anybody say that, ever. I wished I would have done a little more riding. I wished I would have spent a little more time on the front porch. I wished I would have spent a little more time walking down the beach with the woman I love or the man I love. I wished I would have spent a little more time with my kids. I wished I would have spent a little more time at home. Those are the kind of things you hear. Don't be that person. Realize that balance. You know what it takes to keep you happy. And yes, we all have responsibilities. And the key to a happy life is finding that balance. Don't work harder than you need to provide more than you need to be happy. Because I think a lot of times we set our eyes on those big houses, $500,000 homes and $60,000 cars and $40,000 motorcycles. And it takes a lot of work to provide all that. And maybe you'd be just as happy with a $100,000 home and a $6,000 car and a $4,000 reliable old Evo bike. And you wouldn't have to work nowhere near as hard to have all that stuff, and you'd have way more time to enjoy it. It's all about balance, girls. And I want to help you find that balance. The Wiggle Rebellion is your way to shake the negativity out of your life. When negativity piles up on you, be sure you get your wiggle on. The Wiggle Rebellion is just like a little puppy shaking the water off of him after getting caught in some of that heavy rain yesterday, or maybe splashing around in a puddle that he shouldn't be nowhere near today. Either way, that puppy's full of water. He wants to get rid of it. You full of negativity, do what that puppy does and shake it away. It's an outward expression of an inward change. The fact that you are now going to focus on the and pay less attention to the negative. Only give the negative situations enough attention to deal with them and then move past them. You'll find your life becomes a whole lot easier once you're able to do that. You're not going to be able to do it the first time. Some people can't, but it takes effort. Just shake, 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 shake the booty and watch the negativity go away. Speaking of the fact that we all die, speaking of the fact that death is a reality that point in time, there are folks of a Black Hills family and some of their close friends that acknowledge they have a betting pool that they run on how many bikers will die during the annual Sturgis motorcycle rally. And some people say it's a little bit disturbing and unnerving, and it's not right. I say, you know what? It's a fact. Every year bikers die out there. There's a few people that pass away during that rally. It's over it's a few 100,000 people, and some years on their big anniversaries, it's upwards of 500,000 people. But this report comes out of Rapid City. Members of a Black Hills family and their friends acknowledge that a betting pool they run on how many bikers will die during the annual Sturgis motorcycle rally is a bit disturbing, but they say they mean no harm. This year, 12 people put in $5 each, with the winner pocketing the $60, according to the Rapid City Journal. Fatalities are a fact of life at the rally that draws hundreds of thousands of bikers to the Black Hills each year, according to Carol Landrum, 62, who travels from Arkansas every summer to her family's cabin in the Black Hills. We hate that anybody does die, but we know it's going to happen, she said. It was a joke initially. It's just kind of a way for us to get through the rally and be good-humored about it. Landrum, a retired physician's assistant, said she has seen the aftermath of tragic accidents. The pool is not meant in any way to be malicious or hoping anyone has a bad accident, she said. I think they do it kind of betting and hoping that the numbers will be low. The pool started 7 years ago based on an idea from a friend of Landrum's husband. The friend, ironically, later died in a motorcycle accident. A few neighbors who were skeptical of the pool have since gotten over their initial moral objections and now join in, said William Landrum, 63. The first time, they kind of roll their eyes, he said. Picking 0 deaths is not an option in the pool. Unfortunately, that's always going to lose. And that is a cold-hearted reality of rallies like that. People usually pass away. William Landrum said, for someone out there, it's their time, he said. The State Highway Patrol said 4 fatalities were recorded at this year's rally, the one that just ended. Thank God none of them were any of our friends or family and vendors that we know that travel out there, which ended last weekend. That's down from last year where they recorded 6 fatalities. So is it morally bad mojo to have this little betting pool? Is it an acceptable and okay way of coping with the sadness and reality that people actually die at the rally? I mean, they say they're using it as a coping mechanism. It's their way of dealing with the reality that somebody's going to die and not letting it become a downer. One of their friends, the guy who initially even had this thought or initial idea, passed away in a motorcycle accident himself. So, and if they continue to carry on the tradition in this guy's memory, if it's their way of coping and dealing with their friend's loss and also dealing annually with the loss of people at this rally, do we say okay and let them do it, turn a blind eye? Because it's none of our business. They're not making money on it. It's a little private betting pool that somebody somehow got wind of, and now they want to make a big deal of it. And now my fat ass is here talking about it. But I'm talking about it because I want to know, how does it affect you? Do you find it morbid and disgusting? Do you find it as not necessarily the mainstream way of dealing with death, but okay, if it works for you, keep doing what you're doing because you're not hurting anybody? Or is it just morbid and offensive to those family members of the people that do die at that rally? They don't know them. They never know about, hopefully they never know about the betting pool, but they also don't bet on who. It's just the number. a number. They're only betting on a number, not who. I don't know. I don't know if I find it a little twisted. Maybe not necessarily my cup of tea, but I can't find any reason to criticize it or tell them to stop it. You're not betting on who's going to die. You're just betting that 4 people will die this year, or 10 people, or 6, or 3, 2. Zero's not an option, unfortunately. What is an option? I've got some lowercase blues coming up for you. Whatever the case, the good long music break. So get your smoke in, get your puff in. I'm going to get a potty break in and a drink of water. For those of you viewing on the YouTube channel, thanks for checking in. I'll chat up with Facebook and stuff, but I'm going to get me a little break in here momentarily while you enjoy lowercase blues. This is the Getting Over the Hump Wednesday edition of the Walrus Attack Show. And we're streaming live video on YouTube from the Midevil Custom Cycles studios in Street, Maryland. Getting you over the hump, boys and girls. Good morning, Walrus Nation. Yeah. Yeah.
You heard anything about the 9/11 ride? Probably on 95 this Saturday.
No, I haven't. But then again,
I read a post something yesterday about that the ride leaving DC Saturday morning and heading up 95, and they should be around. They're heading to New York. What, around like 8:30?
is this Top Fuel Billy's ride?
No, it's 9/11.
It is the 9/11 ride.
The 9/11 ride, yeah.
You know, I don't know anything about it, but I'm sure if we start nosing around, call Charlotte or something. I've got a phone number. All right, boys and girls, sit tight. I'll be back. sun's out, people ringing the phone off the hook here at Midevil Custom Cycles. Be sure you give us a call. We give your bike the therapy it needs so you can get the therapy you need when you need it. Bring your bike up to Midevil Custom Cycles. Yes, a lot of water came in here. Stu,
Yes, sir.
a lot of water came in here. Under that door, it puddled up right in front of it, and it got so much it came in and ran and puddled. I mean, where it's wet right now, that was all covered in a skim of water all the way back to the door.
We might have to.
Either that or do something about a French drain, just get it flowing away around the corner, around the outside. Once it turns the corner, it'll roll down the front of the building. Excuse me, guys, I'll be right back. This is how we work at a motorcycle shop. Yeah, right here. I don't know what effect it will. Yeah, don't bother me. I've had it open before. I've had both of them open just for airflow. Call me a drink. By now, that's a lowercase blues. With what was that song? Whatever the case, I should have known. Whatever the case, that lowercase blues. We appreciate them from our homegrown Thursday contributions back on the Walrus Attack Show, and we use homegrown music here because we don't want any problems with copyright infringements with our YouTube stream. For the folks watching live via YouTube, know that you have a question app available. You can type a question, I'll answer it. I can't respond via text. You'll have to be watching and listening. I'll respond to you as a part of this live video stream from the lovely Midevil Custom Cycles studios here in Street, Maryland. Also, we got to give a big shout out in marketing and social media solutions, Daytona, Florida, Kathy Nosk. Also, Hayes Gray Entertainment, Lee Starr, working hard to keep getting us booked for 2015. We're putting a 2015 tour schedule together. If you'd like to have the Thunder Walrus and Strip Club Choppers Radio or the Walrus Radio Network come visit you, we'd love to. Make sure you drop an email to tim@thunderwalrus.com, and I'll forward it to Lee. Somebody from Hayes Gray Entertainment will be in touch with you. We can get you scheduled on our 2015 tour starting in Daytona. We'll be in Daytona Bike Week. We'll have more information about that coming up in the coming months. We've still got to get through the 2014 schedule. Nothing Fancy's coming up. That's August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. I believe that's the dates. It's that right around that time, that weekend. If I missed it by a day or so, just forgive me, I don't have a calendar in front of me. But nothing fancy, sponsored by Strip Club Choppers, PA, New Jersey, and Randy's Cycle Shack. Strip Club Choppers Radio, the Walrus Radio Network, and yours truly will be up there. We'll be hanging out, partying with them. Pan Pie and the boys will be with me. It's going to be a fun celebration. Green Lane, Pennsylvania, batten down the hatches because the Thunder Walrus and Strip Club Choppers, PA, New Jersey, Radio, the whole damn crew's coming. It's going to be a great time. Great entertainment, bands all weekend long. A lot of fun. So join us there for that. Then it's Ocean City Bike Week. Yep, that's right. Strip Club Choppers Radio and yours truly will be throwing the party at the Poor House on Wycomico Street and Baltimore Street, right there on the corner, just down from the Bearded Clam and the Oyster Bar. The Poor House, where my friend Skip Dixon has been bringing the party for many, many years. Last year I had the opportunity, and Mike, Dana, and the crew loved us so much they invited us back. So opening night, September 11th, we'll be at the Poor House at the corner of Wycomico and Baltimore Street, bringing the opening night party for Delmarva and Ocean City Bike Week 2014. We'll spend a moment honoring and memorializing those who lost their lives that fateful day back in 2001, not only at the Twin Towers, but at the Pentagon and in that field in Pennsylvania. And then we're going to do it the only way we know how, Strip Club Chopper style, as we kick off Ocean City Bike Week 2014 at the Poor House, the corner of Baltimore and Wycomico Streets in Ocean City, Maryland. Then Friday and Saturday, be sure you check out Thunder Roads Magazine events all weekend long. I'll be your host for those, running around with Rhino, Hillbilly, and the boys, hanging out the Strip Club Choppers, the Thunder Walrus, and Thunder Roads Magazine. It seems like a perfect fit. We'll be partying with them all weekend long after Thursday. Friday and Saturday, we're with Thunder Roads. Find us, say hi. We'll try to have some swag available for you. Pass out, hand out, hang out. Having a good time for Ocean City Bike Week. Johnny and the boys from Strip Club Choppers Roadhouse are going to be here. Eric from Strip Club Choppers Southeast. Miss SCC, they all said that they'll come by and hang out with us for the party on Thursday night. It's going to be a great night there at the Poor House. Come by and say hi and hang out with us, all right? Now, as we go back, these flies, man, they are relentless. I mean, this is an epic battle of man against beast. And yeah, I'm getting my butt kicked by crap flies. Oh, well, I've had my butt kicked by lesser. So Madonna did it. Why is it a problem for this young lady? This isn't your run-of-the-mill confession. When I say Madonna done it, she pretended to do it in a video. This chick did it for real. A woman in Australia admitted to filming pornographic video inside a church after a tipster recognized her breast. In a video posted online, the woman, whose face is not shown, undoes her top and caresses her breast while holding what appears to be a Bible and a rosary. The New York Daily News reported that at least 2 porn videos featuring the same woman were filmed at the church in June. According to the Australian Times, Bernard Power, a priest with the Diocese of Linz, went to police after publishers said they recognized their church in the parishioners said they recognized their church in the video. Here's my question that nobody else is asking. Why were the parishioners watching porn videos and able to recognize their church? They would have never recognized the church if they weren't watching porn. Nobody else seems to think about that aspect of this little scenario. But then again, it says after the footage was screened on local television, and I'm sure they had to like blot out the boobs, but somebody watched it because a tipster came forward and said he recognized the woman's breast. Pushing police were then able to track down the 24-year-old amateur video star who confessed she now faces charges of offending religious feeling and discretion or desecration of a church. According to detectives, she had made similar films on the internet under the name Babsy, and it had been easy to see that she was also the young woman in the church. Police confirmed that the woman didn't have permission to film inside the church. After some debate, it was decided that the church would not have to be reconsecrated. So she didn't defile it enough that it had to be reconsecrated. All is good. But the parishioners were watching the video. Somebody had to recognize the church, which means somebody was watching the video. Perverts. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with watching porn, don't get me wrong. Just don't be a hypocrite about it. Because the chick filmed it in your church, you're pissed. Well, you're still watching porn. If you're going to watch porn, you might as well watch it in a place that you recognize. Hey, that's my church. That's cool. I wonder which one of the choir she is. You'll be paying better attention next time things are happening in your church. You'll be looking for the large-breasted chick that seems interested in fondling herself. Just saying. Possibility. Now for that segment you all have been waiting for. It is that time. Yes, I told you in the show preface that we'll be talking about 5 signs your relationship is over. Beware, because I'm cool. I made sure I did this yesterday. I went through. I wouldn't be broadcasting this if it had any effect on me. I'm good to go. Now, that's me. That's me. I'm going to air this, and then when I get home tonight, I'll figure out, or will be informed very quickly, what Pam Pie's take on this information is. But just saying up front and for the record, I checked off all of these and said, yeah, they ain't a problem for me. So with that being said, as a relationship coach, the author of this article goes on to say, because I'm not the relationship coach, you understand, says, I sometimes have to advise couples to do something they hate to hear. Break up. It's always just as painful for me as it is for the couple. Some call it tough love. Some call it being cruel to be kind. I call it a jolt into reality. Very often, one or both partners cannot come to grips with the reality that the love and intimacy that had once existed in the relationship is no longer there. We are creatures of habit. We get used to situations just as easily as we get used to places and people. It's more excruciatingly difficult to break old habits once they become part of our everyday lives. See, but here in this situation, and in every situation, some of us fall into a routine quicker and easier than others. Somebody do something for a week and blam, it's all of a sudden an important, intricate part of their life. You know, I can do something for, a week or two, and then it either becomes a pain in the ass or I can deal with it, but it's not something I gotta have or do on a regular basis, or if I don't do it, it doesn't throw me off. That is all about personal abilities or capabilities. There are times you may know in your gut that the relationship is over. However, change is scary, and facing a breakup is something nobody welcomes. On the other hand, it is much worse when couples' relationships deteriorate to the brink of disaster and neither of them realizes it. Many of us prefer to go through life wearing rose-colored glasses. We keep pushing the ugly truth out of our mind until we no longer hear it knocking. This does seem crazy, doesn't it? Yet for more couples than you think, and I have been guilty of this. I've been divorced 3 times, y'all. We've discussed this both seriously and satirically, but the reality of it is I have been divorced 3 times. I know I have experienced this and made the same mistake everybody else does. Keep ignoring the reality of it because this is just how life is for a short period of time. But then the reality slaps you in the face no matter how bad you want it to. We keep pushing it. We keep it. Yet for most couples, and wait a minute. So how can you tell if your relationship is over and it's time to walk away? Well, the first one is, but you wait. Don't jump to any conclusion. Slow down first. If you are no longer having sex, we are, all of us, physical creatures, like it or not. While sex is not and should not be the all and end all in a relationship, it is a very important part of any couple's bond. It is also part of an individual. We are sexual creatures. At some level, we have sexual needs and desires that need to be tended to. Some of us are more sexually motivated than others, and that's not a problem or an issue unless it drives you to do things that become a problem or an issue for others, such as sexual predators, rapists, and things of that nature. Once sex is gone, it is very difficult to pass off a platonic relationship as a love connection. So if your love life has just completely went to absolute nothing, or if you can't explain the diminished sexual activity in your relationship based on a situation or circumstance, then you may need to look at things. But that's just one. Now, don't jump to that conclusion because of one thing. Somebody may be having, sexual or erectile dysfunction issues. It could be because of health issues with a female. It may be, you just have a little screwdriver and your wife's not interested in it anymore. I don't know what it is, but Spoo's over here holding the damn power driver between his legs. Like I need more distractions.
I did skip it. That's what I'm here for.
That's right. Number 2 on the list, you are spending less time together. Business trips notwithstanding and personal responsibilities, we're talking about choices here. If you find yourself more and more apart due to choice, your relationship is on the decline. If you prefer the company of friends to your partner, it's time to rethink your situation, sunshine. If you like your friends better than you like your spouse, something's wrong. Number 3 on the list, if you cease communication with each other, and I think this is more important than not having sex. If you all stop talking to each other, there is a huge, huge crash just around the corner for your relationship. Communication is one of the, if not the most important thing in any relationship, whether it's personal, business, professional, private, intimate, family relationship, friend relationship, whatever. You have to communicate construction, anything, I don't care. If there's more than one person involved, communication is required. And the problem is most of us don't know how to communicate. Shout out to Uncle Jimmy cruising through the door. Good to see your shining bright face again, brother. After the work you put in yesterday, I thought that poor old boy will be whipped. We won't see him for a day or two. God love you. You gotta love Uncle Jimmy. So if you stop communicating, your relationship is definitely on the brink of disaster. Then if that communication falls apart, and then the only time you do communicate, it is in a volatile or fighting manner. From important issues like whether or not to have children to minute things like how many eggs to have for breakfast, the smallest disagreements turn into huge fights. Well, life is too short to spend it in meaningless spats. Realize that your relationship is over. And number 5 on that list, you're not even affectionate anymore. To be sure, there is a huge difference between sex and affection. That affection is just that little kiss on the cheek before you go to bed, that let me reach over and hold your hand while we're driving in the car, those little simple things. Kissing hello, goodbye, all of those little minute things. If you were leaving for any reason and you don't even tell your wife goodbye or kiss her on the cheek, Yeah, you might be headed down a bad road. It may be really seriously time to reevaluate your relationship, or it may be time for you as a person to stop taking your significant other and or spouse for granted. Think about that a little bit, Walrus Nation. I've got some Sunsets North coming up for you. We'll be back to wrap the program up shortly. We got a busy day here. 3 bikes to pick up, a kid to pick up from cheerleading practice, and a whole lot of activity. We got Spoo hanging lights. Uncle Jimmy's bringing donuts. Machine is here building custom stuff for Rice Rockets. Holy crap, it's a great day to be at Midevil Custom Cycles. Yeah, that Vulcan we got back there. That is a Rice Rocket, whether you like it or not. Oh, no, I call anything that burns rice a Rice Rocket. But, yeah, we've got Rice back there, that big Vulcan cruiser that we're customizing. We're building custom stuff for it, cutting fenders and making floorboards extended forward. It's a great day here at Midevil Custom Cycles. And if your bike's up for service, let Rick Stevenson at Midevil Custom Cycles give your bike the therapy it needs so that it will be running and in shape when you need the therapy on it. 2-wheel therapy, some of the best therapy on the planet. And you want your bike to be there and ready for you when you're ready for therapy. So let Rick Stevenson service it for you. We got to find the phone. I don't have it. Apparently Rick walked away from it. Uncle Jimmy's got it. He's always the man on the scene. Thank you, Uncle Jimmy. Keep that in mind. If your relationship is showing 2 or more of these symptoms, 1, you're no longer having sex. You are spending less time together by choice, not by business trips and things of that nature or responsibilities. But you're spending less time with your spouse and more time with your friends by choice. You may have an issue. You cease communications with each other. If your communications just digress to nothing but pure bickering and spats, or you are no longer affectionate, those sweet little goodbye kisses, good morning kisses, hello hug kind of thing goes away, you might want to be reconsidering your current situation. Sunsets North for you, then we're back to wrap up the program. It, like I said, is a great day here at Midevil Custom Cycles. We appreciate you joining and listening to us, and also watching the live video stream on YouTube from the Midevil Custom Cycles studios here in Street, Maryland. This is the Thunder Walrus Show. Good morning, Walrus Nation. Who is it that says laugh out loud? Oh, Charlotte Britt, laugh out loud. I wish I could have put my 2 cents in worth on that last topic. Oh my God, Charlotte, yeah. You could have, darling. 410-457-5500. You can call that number. I can patch it in. That's the number we're doing our phone interviews and stuff with Johnny Langhorne. So, Charlotte, if you're watching live via the video, you can call in. When we come back, we can discuss that if you'd like. You've got a few minutes to do so. Uncle Jimmy will answer the phone and make sure I get it. So, man, there's a lot of background noise. Let's delete that noise. Route 1 traffic is very busy today, which is cool. Not knocking it. Trust me, I love the traffic. That's what brings customers in. And there's a lot of activity happening here at the shop today, and we're very thankful for that. So Charlotte Midnight Rider, 410-457-5500. If you want to put in your 2 cents on that last topic, give me a call and do so, sugar. We'll be here. I got to check my music time. See who's chatting, who's not? Nobody. Nobody loves me. Everybody knows.
That's why.
I know you are here, and Dustin's probably busy. And everybody else is chatting with me on Facebook now, and the YouTube is picking up. So that's very cool. I like that. Not a problem. I got no problem with that whatsoever. Let's do the Walrus Wonders question of the day. It looks like we got quite a lot of activity on that. Oh, damn. I just hang on to it there, brother. I got some water right now. I'll have that as soon as the show's over. YouTube streaming, but I'm not on the radio.
If Charlotte calls in,
Yeah.
ask her about that.
Oh, I will, the 9/11 ride.
Yes, because I Facebooked her a message, but I don't know if it's in the
Yeah, right. I got you. If she does call in, I will ask her about that. Although, you know, I just put it on the video for Charlotte to call me, and I think there's like a 10-minute delay in that video stream. So she's going to, by the time she calls, I'll be, nah, because she'll probably call me.
There's not a 10-minute delay.
Well, it may have been Pam's video feed then, because she was telling me it was a huge delay between the radio and the video. And I figured it was because of the digital breakdown of the video.
There is a difference,
A little one?
because when I'm watching you, watching your face talk,
Right?
it's like what I say now.
It's like a
I'll
Japanese.
hear it now.
Yeah, it's like a Japanese movie.
You stop and start talking again, and I hear it, and then I pick. It's probably like what I'm getting is like a 20 second delay.
Right.
Maybe.
Oh, right on. Okay. Well, we're going to share the Walrus Wonders question of the day with you. We got a lot of funny answers to this. Walrus Wonders question of the day. What does it take for you to say, quote, "The hell with it. Let's drink and call it a day"? Charlotte Midnight Rider says, laugh out loud, not much these days. The constant staff shortage at work, having to postpone my vacation since June 4th. Walked out last Saturday, said that's just it, the hell with it. I need to ride and de-stress, have a drink, and not think. And I like that, she said, and she did. That feeling of being at the edge, it's best for me to say the hell with it. And then to continue on. Absolutely, much better say the hell with it. Lee Starr, that's not what I need to hear out of my agent there, Lee Starr. Not much. My own stepdaughter says, not much. Robert Dugan says all it takes for him to say is the hell with it, let's drink, is waking up. That's awesome. Fat Pat Kelly says the day must always end in Y or I will not have a drink. Okay. Jeff Dressler says sunrise. What are you looking for? Trash can? The only one we got's over here. Or way outside.
Yeah.
Archie Miller Sr. says it doesn't take much these days. Charlotte Midnight Rider jumps back and says, waking up and turning on the news, seeing I thought you were going to say turning on the internet and listening to your dumbass makes her drink. Sorry, stop listening. Michelle Plummer, any Oriole loss, but thankfully there's not much of that these days. Go O's. And last but not least, our dear buddy from Lee B Fitness, Lee Bucksbaum, says, doesn't happen very often anymore, but I say, let's lift some heavy stuff. He didn't say stuff, but he lift it, Lee. You the big strong man, brother. I'm old, broke down with a bad back. Not really. I just don't want to hurt myself, so I'll just stand here and look good. I look like I could lift a lot, but I probably couldn't lift a damn 12-pack of beer right now if I had to. Walrus Nation, it is that time once again for me to wrap it up and call it a day here. It is a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. I hope we help put a smile on your face and help you get over the hump. Remember, the wiggle is your tool to shake the negativity out of your life. Get a good, clear focus on the positive things that bring you happiness. Do your best to fill your happy cup today. And if you can't get it filled all the way up, then splash enough happiness in to get you to the next oasis of happiness in your life. Don't run your happy cup on empty. It's not a great way to live. Walrus Nation, know that I love you and appreciate you very much. Be sure you keep in mind the upcoming events. We've got nothing fancy coming up here towards the end of August, Ocean City Bike Week, and much, much more for the remainder of 2014. And look forward to the 2015 schedule for the Walrus and the Walrus Radio Show, as we'll be putting that together in the closing months of this year and be ready to announce that somewhere around January, I know. A lot to come, a lot of great things happening. We've got a lot of great people to thank for it. We've got to thank Midevil Custom Cycles here in Street, Maryland, for the cool digs and studio, for all of the great service and maintenance they provide Pam Pies and both of my motorcycles. Not only the custom build on the Strip Club Chopper's pole bike, but just the regular everyday maintenance. Rick Custom Cycles has 120 certifications and is a graduate from the Motorcycle Mechanics Institute in Phoenix, Arizona. He's got service agreements available, service contracts. They offer great benefits and perks to those people willing to make that purchase. Give Rick a call at 410-457-5500 to schedule your service or discuss those maintenance contracts available from Midevil Custom do, putting a smile on people's face everywhere he goes. Crave Marketing and Social Media Solutions. Kathy Nosk and her crew are doing a great job helping us rebrand and relaunch the Thunder Walrus. We're very thankful to them. House of Ponchos Tattoo and Piercing. We're very thankful for their sponsorship and support over the years and through the many changes. House of Ponchos Tattoo and Piercing, Pulaski Highway in Abingdon, Maryland. Stock full of award-winning artists when you're in the Baltimore metropolitan area. Be sure you stop by and let them know the Thunder Walrus sent you. Give them a call at 410-273-6999. That's House of Ponchos Tattoo and Piercing in Abingdon, Maryland, 410-273-6999. And Hartford Cleanouts for all your cleanout needs. Find them on Facebook, Hartford Cleanouts, or send them an email at hartfordcleanouts@gmail.com. They can come give you a price. Take care of all that unwanted junk around your place. It's Hartford Cleanouts for all your unwanted materials and no humans. They don't take unwanted humans. It's just disposable junk. Well, every once in a while, but it has to be a special case. Just talk to Spoo about that privately. I don't want to know anything about that. Join us again tomorrow. We'll be here with the Thursday edition of the Thunder Walrus Show with the best damn entertainment on the planet, looking to put a smile on your face and help you focus on the positive in your life. I've had a great time this morning. Looking forward to having a great afternoon. The negativity's getting you down. Get your wiggle on. Put a smile on your face. And have a great day. Who do we want to play to shut this thing down? How about a little Alligator Tom with my dear friend Joe Cat? He always puts me in a pleasant mind frame. Until we meet again tomorrow for the Thursday edition of the Thunder Walrus Show and the live video stream from here at Midevil Custom Cycles in Street, Maryland. Peace, Walrus Nation. All right, Shar, no worries, hon. If you wrote down the wrong number, that ain't no problem. We'll talk to you again later. But anytime you have the opportunity, feel free to call in. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me again. Thank you. I'll make sure you get the right number, sugar. It's Midevil Custom Cycles in Street, Maryland. You can look it up on the internet, all right? 410-457. 5500 457-5500. To all y'all watching via the internet and the YouTube stream live, we appreciate you. Thank you for communicating with me, Charlotte. Makes me feel good to know that somebody's paying attention, and it's always you, baby. Peace, everybody. See you tomorrow.